Remove those handcuffs. Right now. The mayor's voice thundered to the crowded police station. Every conversation stopped. Every officer froze. Reporters turned. Camera crews swung their lenses toward the lobby, and Officer Derek Malone felt his blood run cold. The black man standing in handcuffs looked completely calm. Too calm. The mayor stormed forward. Her face was filled with anger. "What have you done?" Nobody answered. Not immediately, because nobody could believe what they were seeing. And neither could Derek. Just 30 minutes earlier, he had dragged this man into the station like a criminal. Now the mayor was looking at him like he had just committed the biggest mistake of his career. The handcuffed man slowly lifted his eyes and met Derek's stare. Then he spoke. His voice was calm, controlled, dangerously calm. "Officer Malone, I tried to warn you." The room fell silent. Warn him? About what? Who was this man? Why was the mayor furious? And why did several senior officers suddenly look terrified? Derek didn't know it yet, but the answer would destroy everything he had spent 15 years building. And it all began less than an hour earlier. Officer Derek Malone loved authority, not respect. Authority. There was a difference. Respect had to be earned. Authority came with a badge, and Derek preferred the easier option. For years, citizens had complained about him. For years, those complaints mysteriously went nowhere. Every investigation ended the same way. No evidence, no wrongdoing. Case closed. The pattern had become so common that many residents stopped reporting him altogether. They believed nothing would change. Derek believed that too, which was why, on that particular morning, he felt untouchable. As he sat inside his patrol car near downtown Brookdale, he watched traffic move through a busy intersection. His mood was already sour. The department had spent weeks talking about one thing: the arrival of a new police chief. Nobody knew who had been selected. Rumors were everywhere. Some said it was an outsider. Others believed it was a decorated commander from another city. Whatever the truth was, Derek didn't like it. He thought someone like him deserved more influence, more authority, more power. The irony of that belief would soon become painfully obvious. Then he saw the black SUV. A clean luxury vehicle rolled through the intersection. Behind the wheel sat a black man wearing an expensive suit, confident, professional, successful. For some reason, the sight immediately irritated Derek. The driver wasn't speeding, wasn't violating traffic laws, wasn't doing anything suspicious. Yet Derek pulled out behind him anyway. The SUV continued normally. 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. Then Derek activated his lights. The driver immediately pulled over, and the beginning of the end had arrived. Inside the SUV, Marcus Reynolds glanced into the rearview mirror. His expression barely changed, almost as if he had expected this. Slowly, he pulled to the curb and shut off the engine. Derek approached aggressively. License and registration. Marcus handed over the documents. "Good morning, officer." Derek ignored the greeting. He examined the license, then looked back at Marcus, then looked again. The confidence in Marcus's eyes irritated him. Most people became nervous during traffic stops. Marcus didn't. "Where you headed?" Derek asked. "Downtown." "What for?" "I have an important meeting." "What kind of meeting?" Marcus hesitated. "Is there a reason for the stop?" Derek's jaw tightened. "I'll ask the questions." Nearby pedestrians slowed their pace. Something about the interaction felt uncomfortable. Marcus noticed it too, but he remained polite. Then Derek made a decision. Step out of the vehicle. Marcus frowned. "Why?" "Because I said so." The tension immediately increased. Several bystanders stopped walking. One woman quietly pulled out her phone. Marcus slowly stepped out. He understood exactly how situations like this could escalate. What he didn't know was how far Derek intended to push things. "You got anything illegal in the vehicle?" "No." "Mind if I search it?" Marcus answered carefully. "I don't consent to searches." The response instantly angered Derek. Most people surrendered their rights out of fear. Marcus hadn't. "You think you're smart?" "No, officer." "Then don't make this difficult." Without permission, Derek opened the vehicle door. Marcus stared in disbelief. The crowd grew larger. More phones appeared. More people began recording. Yet Derek didn't stop. He searched every compartment, every drawer, every storage space. Then suddenly he smiled. Inside the center console sat a small folding utility knife. Derek held it up. "There it is." Marcus couldn't believe it. "That's a legal pocket knife. We'll decide that downtown." The crowd immediately began murmuring. Everyone knew the arrest looked suspicious. Everyone except Derek, because Derek wasn't looking for evidence. He was looking for a reason, any reason. Moments later, handcuffs snapped around Marcus's wrists. The metal clicked loudly. Several bystanders gasped. One teenager whispered, "This isn't right." Marcus looked directly at Derek. "Officer, are you absolutely certain you want to do this?" Again that question. Again that calm voice. Again that strange confidence. Derek smirked. "I've never been more certain." Marcus slowly nodded. "Then I hope you're prepared for consequences." For the first time, uncertainty flickered across Derek's face, but it vanished almost immediately. He pushed Marcus into the patrol car and drove away. The ride to headquarters felt strange. Marcus remained completely silent. No anger, no panic, no threats, nothing. Only occasional glances at his watch. That bothered Derek. Why was he checking the time? Was he expecting someone? Waiting for something? Derek dismissed the thought. Whatever it was couldn't matter. At least that's what he told himself. The moment they arrived at police headquarters, things became weird. News vans lined the street. Reporters crowded the entrance. City officials walked in and out of the building. The place looked more like a political event than a police station. Then Derek remembered. The new chief. Today's announcement ceremony. He smirked. Maybe leadership would notice his arrest. Maybe they'd appreciate his initiative. But as he escorted Marcus inside, something unexpected happened. People started staring. Not at Derek. At Marcus. A receptionist nearly dropped a stack of files. A detective froze mid-conversation. A captain walking through the hallway suddenly stopped. His eyes widened. Then he looked away. The reactions continued. Everywhere. Nobody explained anything. Nobody said a word. But they all recognized Marcus. And that fact began eating away at Derek. Who exactly was this guy? 10 minutes later, things got even stranger. A lieutenant rushed through the lobby. His face looked panicked. "Has anyone seen Marcus Reynolds?" The name caught Derek's attention. Marcus Reynolds. That was the man sitting in holding. The lieutenant hurried away. Moments later, another command officer appeared. He looked equally concerned. "Where is Marcus Reynolds?" Again, the same name, the same urgency. Derek's confidence began slipping. Why was everyone looking for him? What was so important? And why did nobody seem willing to answer? Meanwhile, inside a holding room, Marcus sat quietly, watching the clock, waiting. The door opened. A young officer entered. He looked nervous, very nervous. "Sir, can I ask you something?" Marcus smiled politely. "Of course." The officer swallowed. Are you the Marcus Reynolds?" Marcus simply nodded. The officer's eyes widened. Then he quickly left, without another word. Marcus sighed. The truth was getting closer, and when it arrived, it would hit like a bomb. 5 minutes later, the mayor arrived. The entire station buzzed with activity. Reporters gathered. Cameras rolled. The announcement ceremony was about to begin. Still, nobody could find Marcus Reynolds. At least that was what they thought. The mayor stepped to the podium. "Thank you all for joining us today." Applause filled the lobby. She smiled. "After an extensive nationwide search, our city has selected a leader with integrity, experience, and an unwavering commitment to justice. More applause. He has transformed police departments. More applause. He has rebuilt public trust. More applause. He has spent over 20 years serving communities with honor. The anticipation grew. Then she asked a question. Has anyone found Chief Reynolds yet? The room became silent. Chief Reynolds? Derek felt a knot form in his stomach. No, surely not. That couldn't mean. Suddenly, a voice interrupted. He's in holding. The room froze. The mayor blinked. What? The voice repeated itself. He's in holding. Confusion turned into horror, and then everyone started moving, fast. Seconds later, the holding room door opened. Marcus stood up. The mayor stared, then looked at the handcuffs, then looked back at Marcus. Her face turned white. What happened? Marcus calmly raised his wrists. The answer was obvious. The mayor's expression transformed into pure anger, and moments later her voice exploded through the station. Remove those handcuffs. Right now. The room watched in stunned silence as Marcus's handcuffs were removed. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. Everyone simply stared. Then the mayor stepped toward Marcus. Chief Reynolds, are you all right? Chief Reynolds. The words hit Derek like a freight train. The new chief. The new police chief. The man he had searched. Humiliated, arrested, and handcuffed. The room began spinning. Every camera pointed toward him. Every eye focused on him. And for the first time in 15 years, Derek felt powerless. The story should have ended there. But it didn't, because Marcus wasn't interested in humiliation. He was interested in accountability. And accountability was far more dangerous. Over the following days, investigators reviewed Derek's body camera footage. Evidence was devastating. Every violation had been recorded. Every unnecessary action. Every questionable decision. Everything. Then investigators began digging deeper. What they found shocked the city. Years of complaints. Years of allegations. Years of patterns. The same behavior. Again and again and again. Victims finally began speaking. Former officers came forward. Witnesses stepped out of the shadows. The truth had finally found daylight, and it was uglier than anyone imagined. 3 weeks later, Derek Malone was terminated. Months later, additional investigations followed. The officer who once believed he was untouchable discovered a painful reality. Nobody is untouchable forever, especially when the truth finally catches up. Meanwhile, Chief Marcus Reynolds transformed the department. Transparency increased. Community trust improved. Accountability became standard practice. For the first time in years, residents felt heard and respected exactly as they should. One afternoon, a young officer approached Marcus. Chief, can I ask you something? Marcus smiled. Sure. After everything that happened, did you ever want revenge? Marcus thought for a moment, then shook his head. No. The officer looked surprised. Marcus glanced toward the community gathering outside. Children laughed nearby. Families smiled. Officers spoke with residents. Then he answered, revenge only changes one person's future. The officer listened carefully. Marcus continued, but justice changes everyone's. The young officer nodded slowly, and those words became one of the most quoted lessons in Brookdale's history. Because power doesn't reveal how strong you are, it reveals who you are. Derek Malone used authority to intimidate. Marcus Reynolds used authority to serve. One man saw the badge as a weapon. The other saw it as a responsibility. And in the end, that difference changed everything. Because the person you look down on today may be the very person standing above you tomorrow. And the truth has a strange way of arriving exactly when people least expect it. Just ask the racist cop who arrested a black man, only to discover he was the new police chief.